Hello everybody and welcome back to our Wake Forest Demon Deacon Dynasty football here on NCAA Football 14. My name is JT Plays and it is time for an update here in 2020. We're going to be taking a look at some players coming out of high school this year, potentially being a new Demon Deacon, or some guys that might transfer. That's not till later in the season. But we're just going to do a scouting update today after last week's debacle against Virginia Tech. We're back home next week against the Noles, 21st in the country. That clearly does not faze us. We can play top 5 teams and just say, you know what? Hey, how are you? Guess what? We're here to play, you're not, and we're going to show up and win. And that's what we've done, except for Virginia Tech. So, with that said, Florida State 3-0, we'll cover that next week. But this week, let's take a look at some guys that the Deacons are recruiting, or are in the lead, are in battle, team needs, always a big one. So, we'll go by all positions first, and we'll sort by the overall. So, overall, guess what? The first guy the Deacons have on their board that they're going after is Stephen Dorsey, a wide receiver out of Montgomery, Ohio. He's a balanced 5'11", 199, 4-star prospect. We are currently behind Illinois, which makes sense. And then after that, it's all ACC. Wake Forest, UNC, Clemson, Miami. His top 5 right now. It's really a 2-horse race here with us and Illinois. So right now we're just trying to prove to him, hey, Wake Forest, a lot better than Illinois. Here are the differences. Here's everything. So we actually haven't offered him a not a contract, a scholarship yet. But our week visit is week 9. Illinois is week 14. So hopefully that does persuade him. And what he's looking for, passing yards for over 250 yards to the wide receivers, and you beat a conference team. So week 9, it's pretty much set in stone. We're playing the ACC. Obviously, if we don't, then that doesn't apply to us. But I don't see Illinois being too hot this year, so I think we have a pretty good chance of picking him up. Our next guy we're going after, how about an outside linebacker, 4-star pipeline, South Carolina State, Logan Wade, 6'1", 215. He's a run stopper. We've had trouble with the run, especially in the past 2 years. If you've seen most of the games, or even some of the games, you know the Deacon D-line can give up running, whether it's the quarterback or running back, pretty heavily. So to be in the 2-horse race again, just like the first guy, 75 overall, outside linebacker, pretty good. Obviously, he's going to keep it in the East Coast here. NC State, Wake Forest, Clemson, UNC, and South Carolina, being from South Carolina. But right now, NC State and ourselves just taking the lead here early. So a lot of guys, again, we haven't given him a scholarship or offered one. A lot of guys have. That's okay. When we get the points, we will. But right now, the cutoff line, 2 teams for this guy. So next guy, Cameron Bennett, another wide receiver, same thing. 3 cutoff spots for him as well. He is a possession wide receiver. Not the greatest type of receiver that the Deacons are looking at, because you don't want to give just one guy the ball. I mean, we did that with Wayne Haynes, but hey, at the end of the day, he led our team to, I think, our 2nd or 3rd straight bowl game. So, with that said, a little difference there. But he's from Pennsylvania, so him even considering a North Carolina team, that's pretty good for us. Rutgers and Maryland are up there. I don't think we'll get him. I think we'll have Rutgers and Maryland fight that out. But we might finish 3rd overall when it's all said and done. Alan Price, another wide receiver. He's from College Park, Georgia. Only 4 teams on his board, and we pretty much have this kid locked up. He's a 3-star, so now we're into the 3s and 2s, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily bad. Sean Johnson, outside linebacker from Mountain Park, Georgia. Again, we pretty much have this kid locked up. He's a balanced outside linebacker, so if we can get a balanced outside linebacker and a run stuffer, that's pretty good in our book. How about the quarterback situation? Richie Miles? I'll double check later in the year, but I'm pretty sure he's gone at the end of this year. And if he's not, 1 year left. So we're looking at quarterbacks. Aaron Smith, 4-star, Henderson, Texas. Right now we are beating out Arkansas State, Boston College, Vanderbilt, and Maryland. I think it's us and Arkansas State. He's a scrambler. That's what we've used in the past 3 or 4 years. It's just what we've come to expect from the Demon Deacon offense. And he is a 4-star prospect, 81 speed, deservedly so. Titled as a scrambler, 2 on the cutoff line. And no one's offered him a scholarship. But we haven't even given this kid a schedule yet. Let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and let's do it against Florida. Why not? I would do it this week or next week against Florida State, but let's do it against Florida, an SEC team we have never played in this dynasty. First meeting ever. How about some more wide receivers? Jerome Willis, 69 overall. He's a 4-star possession. Some other guys. More outside linebackers, guards, quarterbacks. It's not a big list. It's really outside linebackers, wide receivers, and quarterbacks. And that's really all we need. Maybe some guards or tackles, but they're not going to show up crazy. So a lot of guys, we're just having fun. So far, team needs, we just covered it. Quarterback, wide receiver, an outside linebacker. Athletes, we're seeing in an F. I can live with that. Safeties are a problem. I'd like to upgrade that soon. And then a fullback. You don't necessarily need a great fullback, but at the same time, it'd be nice to have one. A lot of C grades on here, and also tackle a D-. So we're not getting the best talent. We're certainly not getting the worst talent, and we were ranked inside the top 50 for recruiting classes coming into this year. So we can definitely show some guys a thing or two when they come to Winston-Salem. But for scouting, that's really all she wrote there. So guys, that's scouting in a nutshell through 4 weeks of the 2020 season. Next time out, we're taking on Florida State. And then we have K-State, Duke, and then Florida's week 8. That's obviously a big game. And then from there, it's all ACC. Louisville's the only currently ranked team left. Florida and Florida State. So 3 ranked teams. We beat them. We're already 2-1. There's 5 wins. We're looking at 1 more for a bowl game. I think we can get about 7 or 8 wins this year. It should be a lot of fun, though. A lot of year left in football. And really all there is